Chapter 4.
My son's cries grow louder, echoing through the air, and instinctively, I reach out for him. The man's gaze flickers towards my child before he sniffs the surrounding air. A sense of confusion washes over me as I stare back at him, unsure of his intentions. With a protective tug, I pull my son closer to my chest, as though afraid he might be taken away from me. It's just temporary. Please don't involve child services, I plead, hoping to alleviate any concerns he may have. The man tilts his head to the side, his expression appearing more pensive than accusatory. "Is your car operational?" he inquires, directing his gaze towards the vehicle before giving one of its tires a firm kick. "I have no fuel. I'll be gone by tomorrow, I promise," I blurt out, feeling a surge of panic. Is he some sort of official? His sharp attire suggests otherwise, but appearances can be deceiving. His gaze lingers on me, his nose wrinkling slightly in apparent recognition. "You smell familiar," he mutters. I swallow nervously, wondering if he's recalling a past encounter. Yet, relief washes over me as he doesn't seem to remember anything specific. Still, I can't risk him delving deeper and uncovering my ties to a pack. My father's strained relationship with Alpha Brian adds another layer of complexity. But perhaps, if this beta could arrange a meeting with the Alpha, there might be a chance of assistance for my son. Though the idea of facing the man who rejected me and refused to acknowledge my son fills me with dread. If only he'd agree to a DNA test, he'd see the truth. Pack bonds are undeniable. As the beta moves closer to the car, opening the hatchback further, I instinctively retreat, scanning for any weapon I might need in case of trouble. "Calm down. I can't leave you here knowing you're sleeping in your car with a baby," he says, his tone firm yet compassionate as he reaches for the car seat. "I'll leave. Just don't take my son," I plead, desperation lacing my words. He regards me with a mixture of concern and confusion. "I'm not," he assures me, his gaze unwavering. "I want to help," he adds, sincerity radiating from his eyes. "You want to help?" I echo, disbelief coloring my tone. Could it be true? "Come on, you can stay at the packhouse until I speak to my Alpha," he suggests, gesturing for me to follow. "Grab a change of clothes. We can come back for your car tomorrow." Frozen with fear and uncertainty, I hesitate. It's been so long since anyone has offered me assistance. Sensing my reluctance, he lets out a sigh before taking charge, gathering essentials into a bag, formula, diapers, and some of my clothes. The gesture leaves me speechless, a flicker of hope igniting within me for the first time in ages. "Come on, wouldn't you rather have a warm house than a cold car?" he urges gently, his words stirring a sense of longing within me. I glance down at my son, uncertain of what to do. With a decisive gesture, he grabs the car seat, prompting me to make a choice. Reluctantly, I exit the car, accepting the umbrella he offers before he closes the trunk. "This way," he gestures, leading me towards his vehicle. I trail behind him, my mind swirling with questions. Why doesn't he drive to work? And why leave such an expensive car at a train station? He secures the car seat inside his car before turning to me, scratching his head. "You know how to clip it in?" he inquires, and I nod in response. "Okay, you put it in, and I'll hold your..." His gaze shifts to my son. "Son," I interject, correcting him. He nods understandingly, extending his arms for the baby. With a cautious glance, I pass my son to him, ensuring to maintain visual contact as I secure the car seat in place. Once done, I turn back, reclaiming my child and fastening him securely into his seat before settling in beside him. The beta hands me the bag before closing my door. He turns on the heater as he settles into the driver's seat, stealing a glance at me through the rearview mirror. "Your son has odd-colored eyes," reminds me of my Alphas. "He's the only person I know with amber eyes besides his father," he remarks, his voice tinged with curiosity. I meet his gaze briefly before averting my eyes, a rush of conflicting emotions swirling within me. Indeed, my son inherited his father's distinctive eyes, a trait impossible to ignore. But I remain silent, unsure of how to navigate this unexpected revelation. Perhaps this could be my opportunity, a chance for him to recognize his own blood. After all, familial bonds are undeniable, and their resemblance is undeniable. Who is your alpha? I inquire, feigning ignorance. Brian, the blood alpha, he replies, his eyes flicking to mine once more, assessing my reaction. Excitement bubbles within me as I realize my suspicions were correct. He'll be fine with you bringing a rogue into the territory? I question, masking my anticipation with a hint of concern. He won't be there, and I'll speak with him tomorrow. Are you hungry? He asks, his tone shifting to a more casual note. My stomach grumbles loudly in response to his query, betraying my hunger. He chuckles softly at the sound, easing the tension that had gripped the air moments before. I'll take that as a yes, he remarks, a playful glint in his eyes, causing a blush to creep onto my cheeks. I offer my son his pacifier, his amber eyes reflecting the dim light within the car. What's your name? He inquires. Jane, I respond, keeping my guard up, wary of revealing too much. Your name is quite peculiar. Were you part of a pack, or were you born rogue? He probes further. I was in a pack, I reply evasively, refusing to disclose any specifics. The tensions between my family's pack and the Blood Alpha are well known, and I'm not eager to be caught in the crossfire. And your name? I can sense beta blood in you, I counter, attempting to redirect the conversation. Martin, and yes, I'm Brian's beta, he reveals matter-of-factly as he maneuvers the car into a drive-thru. I instinctively reach for my wallet, but his next words stop me in my tracks. I don't want your money, he states firmly before placing the order. What do you want? Caught off guard by his generosity, I hesitate before he settles on two of the same item. Is he asleep? He inquires, gesturing towards my son. I glance at my child, nodding in confirmation as Martin pulls up to the next window. Climb in the front, he instructs, causing a wave of apprehension to wash over me as I glance back at my sleeping son, uncertain of what to do next. You don't need to worry. I won't bite. Feel free to climb over. Martin reassures me, patting the passenger seat invitingly. With a tentative nod, I unclip my seatbelt and maneuver myself into the front seat. As I fasten the seatbelt, I can't help but notice the absence of any mark on his neck, a telltale sign that he hasn't found his mate yet. In our world, a bite on the neck signifies being marked by one's mate. He opens some cup holders and places the drinks within them before handing me a paper bag. You can eat in the car, he offers kindly. Grateful for his hospitality, I thank him before opening the burger box, allowing him to take his meal first. Martin pulls over to the side of the road, flicking on the interior light so we can see. Turning in his seat to face me, he reassures, eat. I won't hurt you. With trembling hands, I open the burger box, the enticing aroma causing my stomach to rumble in anticipation. Carefully, I retrieve the burger, my nerves still jittery from the unexpected turn of events. As I blush, feeling self-conscious under his gaze, I can't shake the nagging sense of embarrassment. Accepting help from a stranger makes me feel weak and pathetic. Thank you, I murmur gratefully, taking a sip of the cold Coke he handed me. The fizzy drink tingles on my tongue, offering a welcome relief. Where's your mom and dad? He inquires, his curiosity evident. He's my only family, I reply, glancing down at my son. They cast you out, didn't they? For being unmated? Martin, question cuts through the silence, hitting a nerve. I swallow hard, feeling a lump form in my throat. My mother wasn't a rogue. She was a single mother. After my dad died, she raised me alone. It was a struggle, but we had the pack's support. It must be tough for you, not having anyone, he reflects empathetically. I remain silent, unable to find the words to articulate the shame and disappointment that linger from my past. What can I say? I am the disgraced daughter of an alpha? We eat in silence, the quiet broken only by the sound of chewing. For the first time in ages, I feel a sense of fullness, though Martin surprises me by passing me his fries, urging me to eat them before he resumes driving. As we continue our journey, I notice a familiar route, realizing we're nearing my old pack's territory. Yet, Martin turns into a road heading in the opposite direction, leading us deeper into his territory. After another 20 minutes of driving through unfamiliar lands, he pulls up in front of a large, modern-looking 3-story house. Despite the darkness obscuring my view, I can sense its grandeur. Are you feeling okay? Crossing over didn't make you feel sick, did it? He asks, his concern palpable. I shake my head, puzzled by the absence of the usual sensation of sickness that accompanies crossing pack borders. It's odd, to say the least. Usually rogues like me feel it, but not this time. Huh. Odd. Martin murmurs in response to my lack of sickness upon crossing the pack border. Are you sure it's okay for me to stay here? I inquire tentatively. Yeah, no one is here, and you can stay in my room tonight. I have pack patrol, so I won't be home, he assures me, his tone firm yet reassuring. I nod, feeling a mixture of relief and uncertainty. The alpha won't mind? I press further. Nah, he won't even know until I see him tomorrow. He's in the city partying tonight. You'll have the place to yourself, Martin explains, opening his door. I follow suit, stepping out of the car and retrieving my son from the back seat. With the bag slung over his shoulder, Martin places a comforting hand on my lower back, guiding me towards the front door of the house. I watch as he unlocks the door before gesturing for me to enter. With a mixture of gratitude and trepidation, I step inside, unsure of what awaits me in this unfamiliar territory.
I want to slap you.